Joe Taylor.
And I'm Harry Cook, and welcome to Sports Now. We have stories today from professional football and Leeds Beckett Sports today, but first of all from the world of rugby league.
Yes, that's right. Our reporter Zach Shepherd went down to Wakefield to see what pre-season preparation looks like for a championship club.
September, things were looking bleak for Wakefield Trinity as they was relegated to the Championship, ending their 24-year spell in rugby league's top flight. Upon relegation, there were a lot of work to be done at the club. Local businessman Matt Ellis bought the club in September and was faced with rejuvenating the wounded club. He installed his faith in new head coach Darryl Powell and employed a new recruitment manager in Steve Mills, who together have pieced a squad full of talent which they believe is capable of winning promotion back to Super League at the first time of asking.
At the start of pre-season, I didn't feel like we had the squad that we needed really numbers-wise, but we've gradually pieced that together. Steve Mills, along with Matt Ellis, done a great job in terms of putting that together. So we've got a good squad. I go into every year wanting to win something wherever I am, whatever comp I'm in. I want to be the best team in the competition, and we should be winning the comp this year. That's our aim. There'll be some stiff challenges for us, but I feel like we've got the squad. I feel like we've got the culture and the environment to be able to do that. And now we've just got to prove it. We'll go out on the field and show what we're about.
The squad itself, I'm very confident. I've got players like this man next to me as well. So we've got a lot of quality in the squad. So I'm hoping that we can transfer that to the pitch. And in case of new coach coming in, whether you're going to get along with him and whether you blend with like his style and stuff. But I get along with him really well. I think he's got the right balance in his assistants as well, with Kermo and Shenny. I think they bring a perfect balance to the team. And I really enjoy working with him.
That confidence comes from knowing you've done the work, I think. And boys have done the work. Like I say, they've worked hard, both training field, in the gym. Anything that we've done together, they've been a big, they've all put themselves into it fully, and that then builds confidence.
Wakefield season got underway on Friday with a 42-12 win against Bradford Bulls. The Trinity will be hoping to continue their promotion push throughout the season. I'm Zach Shepherd, reporting for Sports Now.
Thanks for that, Zach. And now our reporter Andre went to have a closer look at what the Jewish Society do for Leeds Beckett students.
Is the main focus of Jewish student life on each campus and is a recognised member of each university's student union. JSOC hosts a variety of cultural, educational, religious, social and political activities for their members. Today I caught up with Sam Farfield, the JSOC event organiser, for more on this topic and his plans for JSOC in the future.
JSOC 5-a-side Monday night, great place for all the Jews to hang out, really good for the community. We can all hang out with each other in a safe place, no anti-Semitism, we all play safe against each other. It's good fun.
Football on Mondays is an opportunity for Jews in Leeds to play and enjoy football with their friends in a safe space whilst also feeling the competitiveness during these games, and provides a perfect combination of social integration through sport and is greatly appreciated by Jewish students in Leeds and across the country.
So when I first started running the 5-a-side league 2 years ago, we had only 10 teams, and this year we've got 20 teams, so it's great to see that there's so many more people getting involved and wanting to play football and immerse themselves in the community. So hopefully next year the boys can carry it on and we can grow bigger and everyone feel comfortable playing. It doesn't matter about ability, but everyone's here to have a good time.
With JSOC rapidly increasing in popularity in the UK, it is evident to see the benefits for Jewish students, especially those feeling alienated by society, as the size of universities often disables their opportunities organically to meet fellow like-minded students. I'm Andre Parks, reporting for Leeds Now.
Thanks, Andre. Our reporter Ben Conway was at the English Institute of Sport covering the Bucks Nationals. He spoke to Leeds Beckett athlete Jetty Goodman ahead of his first race after suffering from an injury for a year.
If I'm honest, I haven't prepared that much personally because I've been away injured for quite a long time. However, coming back from injury, I've just been trying to do a lot of physio, a lot a lot of sessions throughout the week and just trying to get my fitness back up. So I had a dislocated shoulder at the start of last year, and then straight away when I recovered from that, I had a broken foot, so I was out for like the majority of the year, so I literally couldn't run, couldn't do anything.
Obviously a lot of the recovery that obviously all those athletes do in individual sport is individual recovery, so as long as I'm just giving them that mental support, knowing that he's got someone there all the time and just giving them the motivation before these competitions and stuff like that.
Honestly, it's the best. Like, the team that I have, the atmosphere of the whole uni, like it's just the best to have such a good team around me, to have so many people like supporting me. I wouldn't change anything.
However sport I am with Jake, I am with the rest of the boys as well. So just getting them back on the track, obviously if they are going through injuries and stuff like that, just giving them that mental support, letting them know that we're always there for them, all the boys have got the support of them, and just letting them know that, you know, it's not that deep.
So I raced a few weeks ago, which was like just a race to sort of get the rust off type thing. This is the first proper one, so you know, only onwards and upwards from it.
Go out there, run your hardest, and then when you finish, it's just you go again. You go back to the training board, you go back to the track, just get grinding again.
Joining us in the studio is Ben. So what did you enjoy most about Bucks?
Well, overall, I thought it was a brilliant day. I started off I struggled a bit and I was a bit nervous at the start because I couldn't really find any content. I was a bit like nervous to speak to people and interview them. Then I did a few interviews and I got more into it, and then I found my athlete Jake Goodman, who I interviewed, and I thought it was great creating content for him and just watching him throughout the day, especially it was a great story to tell and how well Beckett did. And then overall as well, I really enjoyed the competitiveness of the event. I thought that it was amazing how students from all over the world from the unis are participating at this one event.
How good was it to see Jake Goodman race again?
Well, just like in any sport, coming back from an injury is amazing, and the fact that him and his relay team came third in the event on that day shows he's slowly coming back to his best.
Thank you, Ben.
No worries.
Now, staying with the Bucks theme, reporter Keel dove a little deeper into the world of badminton that day. Here is what he found out.
I recently caught up with Sam Slew, a Singaporean badminton player who represented Sheffield University at the Bucks Nationals. Fresh off the back of beating the University of Leeds, Lou spoke about how the Bucks Nationals offered a chance to build his teamwork with his badminton partner and how it helped refine his own game. You beat Leeds, University of Leeds. How do you think your performance went today?
I think performance-wise, I think we did okay. Obviously, it did not go as smooth as planned previously, but I think the chemistry between me and my partner has been able to kind of know like where's the positioning, and that can help us pull through in such a difficult hall such as EIS. Yeah.
So your partnership with your partner, how long have you known him for and how long have you been playing together for?
Right, I've known him since first year of university, so that's currently 3 years now, but I've only played with him for a total of approximately 2 years. So I think we've gotten quite a good amount of training in, and we work well with each other because of our chemistry. And yeah, I think that has helped greatly, especially when we have got communication on the court, knowing where each other's going to be. That helped us with the way that we play, and that obviously helped us with our performance.
Yeah, you're nearly into the round of 64. How far are you looking to go in the tournament?
Right, so the next opponent we're going to face they're quite a tough one. So honestly, in this hall there's actually nothing certain, so possibly we could beat them, and hopefully we'll be able to pull through. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. We just the main goal of it is just to get experience, get a valuable experience, especially in such a huge competition like Bucks Nationals. And yeah, I think that's what it's really about.
Cool. So from today onwards, what are you trying to do with your career in badminton? Are you trying to pursue it full time or?
Right. So in terms of like career-wise, I've been playing badminton for close to 18 years now. So that's a really, really long time. And I think especially after this, I'm in the last year of university, I am going to be moving on to the workforce, obviously. So obviously I'm trying to find my badminton games leisurely, get a few hits, knock around, get it fit. But obviously when you're in the workplace, it's going to be a little bit different as compared to university, where they kind of give you the environment. So yeah, I'm hoping to just keep active, keep up with badminton, hopefully retain the skills a little bit, and just move on to my career and hopefully see where that takes me.
Carrying on with the books topic, reporter James Pennington spoke to David Chapman about books and his own personal milestones.
David Chapman is a student at Leeds Beckett. Currently in his second year, though aside from studying, he's also not bad at running. After representing Beckett at Bucks Nationals last year as a fresher where he won silver in the 200 metres, David went one better this year, winning gold with a personal best time of 20.97. Ahead of an Olympic year, I was fortunate enough to chat with David about his chances of representing Team GB in the future. So with it being an Olympic year, does that affect how often and how intense you're training to normal?
I wouldn't say so, no, because obviously I'm a bit far off the Olympic standard right now. I imagine that in a couple of years, if I ever get down to that standard, it would definitely change. But right now, this year is mainly just getting me a time on the board for the under-23 champs next year.
So you of course took gold at the 200 metres at Bucks Nationals. Just how much confidence is that giving you?
Yes, it's given me quite a lot going into the season, because obviously I came second last year with a time of 21.22, so I've made a real jump down to sub-21s.
And what would it mean to you personally to become an Olympic athlete?
It'd be everything right now. I think that is definitely the main goal of me doing athletics. Obviously we can't tell anything this year, because I personally don't believe I'll make the massive jump of 20.16. Because obviously it's a massive jump and I've only ever ran sub-21 once. However, in 4 years' time, when it comes to the 2028 ones in LA, I feel like I will be able to really push again. It would mean absolutely everything to become an Olympic athlete, and I'll do everything I can to achieve that. As long as I stay fit and healthy, I should be able to at least come closer to my dreams. So, yeah.
Whether David will make the cut this year remains to be seen, but he is certainly going to be on Team GB's radar for years to come. Certainly, we won't back against seeing him at LA 2028. Reporting for Sports Now, I'm James Pennington.
From relay races to football academy, Ralph Simpson went along to find out about the I2I programme.
Here with Spencer Neal.
Centre mid, yep, Leeds Beckett University.
So it's been a positive season result so far for ITY.
For me, unfortunately, I haven't been able to be on the pitch as much as I'd like to, but for my performances, I've just been getting better. Started off a little bit slow, especially adapting mid-season, coming back from an injury, but overall, through the coaches and my teammates, been making smart decisions and doing better on the pitch. So, overall, pretty good.
And with all the new lads coming over every season, different countries all over the world, and I2I expanding, would you say there's a lot more competition in the I2I squads?
Yeah, it's competition, but then there's also there's no egos or anything like that. So everybody's just gonna work together, and if you have to battle some guy for a spot, it's not nothing, no hard feelings, no nothing. Everybody's just gonna help each other get better, in the long run anyway. So, but yeah, there's definitely some good competition, just friendly competition between teams.
So would you say that there's quite a bit of community within this I2I squad?
Yeah, it is. I don't, we have a lot of midfielders. I don't see too many, just discrepancies between midfielders or teammates just by granted the same position. But yeah, definitely. We have to work together as well. So you never see really the same 3 people in the mid. So you have to adjust to all your teammates.
Would you say that this is the best quality of football you've played in your footballing career so far? His best quality?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming from America, it's an American style of playing. It's completely different. So the dream was to come over here anyway and play the European side of football, especially UK England football. So yeah, absolutely.
And you're loving the football over here?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, dream come true. So.
Brilliant work from Raf there. Now, cup finals are always the highlight of any team's season, and this is no different with Ashton United. Barney went down to Hurst Cross at the weekend to find out more.
Ashton United have battled through 3 rounds to reach the final of the Frank Hanna Premier Cup, where they will face up against Avro. They have defeated the likes of West Didsbury and Chorlton, Chatterton FC and finally Trafford FC in their run to the final. the Robins will be looking to extend their record of most competition wins from 16 to 17 in 3 weeks' time. Here is what manager Steve Cunningham has to say about the team's performance.
I've just said to him now, I can't get angry and frustrated anymore, because if we was to do that, we're going to end up having a fight. And I've just decided we're just going to be the team that's just going to, either if we do achieve it, it's going to be through absolute hard work, because we're going to concede really daft goals. 3 goals, daft goals, but we're going to go and score 3 and 4 to win a game. So we're certainly going to be entertaining over the next 14 games, because no matter what we do in training, or who we bring in personnel-wise, we give the worst goals away I've ever seen. So we are the best worst team I've managed.
Reporting for Sports Now, I'm Barney Walker.
There is nothing quite like a cup final. Now, moving on to professional sport with Connie, as she went across to Bradford City Women as they played Old Toffs AFC.
Bradford City were at home against Old Toffs Ladies this weekend in the League Cup quarter-finals. The home side were strong in the opening exchanges. However, Matilda's cross though was an easy claim for the keeper. Old Toff had an initial chance through their number 6, but she struggled to get the ball out of her feet, which enabled City to clear. Old Toff came again, but it was a comfortable save from a close-range shot. Summer opened the scoring for City as she slotted the ball past the onrushing Old Toff keeper. The floodgates then opened for City as Aaliyah doubled the Bantams' lead after latching onto a loose ball in the box from a corner. A great ball in from Matilda found Summer at the back post, who tapped the ball home for her second of the afternoon. City lead 3-0 at half-time. The second half began and City continued to be dominant. A darting run into the box from Monica saw her brought down and the referee awarded a penalty. Kanisha converted the penalty on the second attempt following the initial save. A brace in the last 10 minutes from Maria was enough to see Bradford progress through to the next round of the cup after beating Old Toff Ladies 7-0.
Massive congrats on another very big win. Well done, seeing goal scorers across the board. Loving to see that as well. We go into the next one full of confidence, yeah? Anik at home next week in the league. Let's take this confidence into that one as well. Yeah? Well done!
In other news, Halifax FC women have reached the West Riding County Cup final against Leeds Modernians.
Although not favourites, Leeds are hoping to pull through once again after some big wins to get them there. Bon Potter has more.
I'm here at a training session with Halifax FC women, who have reached the final of the County Cup where they'll face Leeds Modernians. Halifax have managed to win the competition for the last 3 times whilst being called Brickhouse Town, and are looking to do it for the first time under their new name.
We want to win this competition, so getting to the final, and we've kind of said all the way through each round, tick off the win, and it's just another step towards our end goal of trying to win it. We want to try and win the competition as many times as we can, and if we can keep winning it every year, it just sort of asserts our dominance a little bit, and it shows the kind of club that we are, where we are the number 1 team in the county, and almost become sort of the flagship for the county, and that's what we want to be. We want to be the team that everyone aspires to be.
And Leeds Modernians, who are 4 divisions below Halifax, will look to prove themselves yet again after their impressive run to the final.
It means a lot. I know it means a lot to the players who are really excited to get there. It's been a really good journey that we've been on. We've knocked out some higher tier teams to get there, and I think it's a great opportunity to show what we can do against Halifax, who are in the tier 3 of the pyramid. We enjoy being underdogs. We've been underdogs, against Ossett in the quarter-finals and against Leeds United in the semi-finals. Also, when we had our FA Cup run, we played Darwin in the first round proper, and we didn't get the result we wanted, but they were massive favourites then, and we'd give a good account of ourselves. So I think this is no different. Halifax will be favourites, but we enjoy being the underdogs.
The final is set to take place on the 9th of May at the County Ground in Rothwell. I'm Ben Potter, reporting for Sports Now.
Now moving on to Halifax men's as Ethan Illingsworth has more.
FC Halifax Town were hoping to return to winning ways this past week as they faced Bournemouth at home in the Vanarama National League. The Shaman went 1-0 up after just 6 minutes, courtesy of Florence Hottie, who followed up after Rob Parker's header hit the post and slotted the ball past the Bournemouth keeper. The home team suffered a late scare in the second half when Lee and Flovu headed home an equaliser in the 78th minute against a run of play. However, less than 5 minutes later, a weaving run past two players from right back Tyler Golden ended in him being taken down inside the box and Town being awarded a penalty. Veteran midfielder Luke Summerfield calmly slotted away the penalty for his side, sending the keeper the wrong way and making it 2-1 to Town with only 10 minutes remaining.
Really well taken, as you say, just slotted it into that bottom corner. Ashmore sent the wrong way. Ashmore kicking out of the post in frustration afterwards.
That's how the game ended at the Shea Stadium, with Town picking up all 3 points and taking another important step forward in their promotion push. I spoke to the man who set up Town's second goal, Tyler Golden, post-match and asked him about the importance of the win and his side's form leading into the end of the season.
Massive 3 points, I think. Much needed, especially with obviously the game last week. It was one of them where we were on a good run, and it wasn't necessarily a bad performance. It was just the result didn't go away, so we knew we needed to bounce back, and that's what we did. I think it's 5 and 6 now. We're on a good run, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. We need to keep doing the bare basics, which we're doing. Take our chances when we get them, and keep backing each other, and really push to the end of the season now.
Reporting for Sports Now, I'm Ethan Illingworth.
Now joining us in the studio is Ethan Illingsworth. How likely is it that come the end of the season, FC Halifax Town will be in a playoff position?
Yeah, they're in a great spot at the moment. They're 1 point off the top 7, so 1 point off the playoff spots. They've won 6 in the last 7 games, so their form's the best in the league. So yeah, they're in a great place. The only issue is, because they've had a lot of games postponed, a lot of weather-affected games, their fixture list towards the end of the season, it's really crammed, it's really packed, and that means they're going to possibly suffer from more injuries, which have plagued them throughout the campaign.
If Halifax are to make the playoffs, how likely do you fancy their chances of making it all the way to League Two?
Yeah, I think it's about their experience. So last year they went to Wembley, came back with the FA Trophy. The year before they finished 4th, but were knocked out in the quarter-finals against Chesterfield. So hopefully they can learn from these lessons in the past and go one further than they have before. Another factor is the defence. They've conceded the joint fewest amount of goals in the league. So the defence is one of the best in the league, and I think that's something really important, having a solid defence, particularly in playoff football.
Thank you very much for that, Ethan. Now, on to Leeds Beckett Sport, and first up is the men's first team football with Finlay Sturgis.
Leeds Beckett were the best team in the north of England. After winning the league 2 years on the bounce, they've now been relegated. But what went wrong? From reigning champions to bottom of the pile, it's hard to pinpoint what changed so quickly. Captain Seb Loza tries to tell us why.
I think losing a lot of the older boys has made a huge difference. A lot of leadership's left, and they were all part of the spine of the team, so in each position, from keeper to striker, we've lost, and I think that in itself is a big issue. I'm not saying any hate on the boys coming in, but I think obviously they haven't had the same determination on the pitch as well compared to where it was a few years back, especially in my first year, so I think that's the main difference.
Hoping to end the season with some pride after already being relegated, Beckett took on Manchester Met. With news of previous manager Wade coming to watch, there was certainly a point to prove.
Just work hard, boys, for each other. Run yourself into the ground, man. Yeah, boys, it's big last game of the season. 1, 2, 3,
And it was looking bright for Nick Bishop's boys as Toby Marriott put them 1-0 up from an early corner. But Beckett's day only got worse as 2 quick goals from Manchester Met put the home side in yet another losing position. The last 20 minutes summed up their season perfectly as a rebound penalty and a red card put the game out of reach. Bishop described this season as a learning curve and acknowledges the lack of experience in his side.
We're really pleased with the players that have come in. I think it's just a bit of a learning curve in terms of experience. A really, really good foundation here, a really good group of lads who have got a lot to look forward to and a lot to build on, because they've showed today that their attitude is excellent. But there was never any question about the quality coming in. We saw from trials that these boys were more than good enough to take the place of the boys who left the first team last year. It was just, maybe that bit of experience and those older heads that we've lost really more than anything, but not the quality. These lads are really good.
Losing 8 title-winning players, relegated with 4 games to go and losing 4-1 on the final day, I don't think anyone in purple can disagree it's a season to forget. But manager Nick already has his plans for next season.
Try and get promoted.
This is Finlay Sturgis reporting for Sports Now.
And here to talk more about this season is Finlay. So, what do you think has gone wrong for the team this season?
Well, like we've just seen there, they've just lost too many players. Obviously losing the manager as well, Steve Wade, who it's more down to personal things rather than the club. So I couldn't get hold of him, but what went wrong there was just something that was kind of out of the club's reach. Like I said, they lost 8 key players. They lost their whole spine. You know, Luke Sidaway, top goal scorer, scored in every single game last year. Lost their captain, Liam Woods, graduation. Kyle Welsh, their goalie, graduation. Liam Curry, which was their player of the season last year. So a bit of inexperience maybe, but I'd say that's what I put it down to.
So yeah, they lost a lot of key players. Sorry, my bad. It's because he started answering my next question.
He has answered the next question, yeah.
What are the key players that the team lost?
So the key players, we start with Liam Curry, who is their player of the season last year. Kyle Welsh, their goalie. Liam Woods was their captain. He's graduated, gone over to Australia for a gap year. But even players like who were the freshers last year, like Tom Hinton, he's now dropped down to the thirds. Luke Webb didn't get much game time, but he's now gone to the fourths. You know, you could think that even though he didn't get much game time last year, he could still progress and maybe be a strong head for the team this year. But it wasn't to happen. Like I said, Luke Sidaway back down in Birmingham. So yeah, just too many players, I'm afraid.
So what do the first needs to do for next year?
Well, like Nick mentioned just then, it's all about getting promoted. With the infrastructure of the club at the minute, it's kind of are the 2s the 1s now, because they're in the top division and the 1s are in the 2nd division. So they're going to have to make up their mind before the start of the season comes in. With Nick being Steve's assistant from last year, he knows what it's like to win. So he'll get everyone in a pre-season and he'll decide what team he wants. And I'm sure they'll be back where they deserve, which is the top division.
Oh, thank you for that insight into football this year. Next up is Rugby League, where Felix has taken a closer look at a fresher in the Rugby League team.
My name's Ben Grinley Roberts and I play halfback.
Hailing from the rugby town of Wigan, halfback and hooker Ben Grinley Roberts is only a first year at Leeds Beckett and barely played in the first half of the season. But after significant development, he stepped up to become a consistent part of the team. Now, he's playing in his first ever national final.
I'd say this is probably one of the biggest games I've ever played in, definitely. I've played in a few finals before, but it's never been national, and it's been mainly, based around my area. So playing in a national final is always massive, especially coming into Beckett's first team in the first year and playing in the grand final is a massive opportunity.
Ben's played rugby ever since the age of 6 for local teams around his area, but never before has he seen the type of facilities and coaching that this level of rugby league provides.
You just do a mix of everything. We have reviews, previews before games, which I've never really been exposed to before, and especially the focus on, it's not just focus on how you're doing on the field, it's gym as well, and making sure your body's ready for a match as much as skills for a game anyway. But I've never really been that exposed to that amount of training and preparation for games, which has really helped us to get wins throughout the year and get us obviously to this point in the grand final.
Other than himself, nobody has a better idea of just how much the youngsters improved than his coach Mark Gledhill. He leads the team's training sessions here in Headley, and he holds the young halfback in very high regard.
I think Ben's been absolutely fantastic this year. He came in slightly later than the others, and obviously being the first year, probably didn't have as much rugby league experience as some of the others. But real credit to him and his development and how he's listened and how he's built himself up over the course of the season. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. He's been like a breath of fresh air. He's always learning. He's always getting better. He wants to get better. And I think we'll have a really good player on his hands over the next couple of years. So yeah, really pleased with him.
Leeds Beckett haven't won the national championship in over a decade, so tomorrow's final is of monumental importance. If they win, it will be a title that Ben will hope can be his first of many. Reporting for Sports Now, I'm Felix Cox.
Joining us now is Felix. So, what do you think makes Ben Grindley-Roberts such a good player?
Well, I asked him that question in training myself, and I went down to watch him, and he told me that his pace was his best factor, and to be honest, he's right. He's absolutely rapid, and I saw him in training. But I think his maturity is a great plus for him as well. He plays at a player many years as senior. He's got that ability to make those split-second decisions as well under pressure. And I think skills like that is what's going to take him forward many years in the future.
Looking ahead to varsity, how big of an impact do you think he's going to have?
Well, I've been told by the manager he's going to come off the bench. I think it's important to remember that he's a young player. He's got a long way to go in terms of starting every single week, but when he comes on, it's those fresh legs that are going to make the impact, and that pace that we mentioned earlier, that's going to come into play. So I think no matter how long he gets on the pitch, it's going to be a big test for him, and there'll be some great experience as well.
Well, thank you, Felix. And finally, Jack Snaith looked at the rugby league squad as a whole.
Leeds Beckett University have reached the National Championships Grand Final after beating Loughborough 8-28 on their own turf. It's an impressive achievement for Leeds Beckett. I went down to Kirkstall to interview club captain Finn Barback, who gave his thoughts on reaching the final.
How does it feel to reach the final?
It feels really good. We've had a complete remake this year, new coaches. We've had up to 10 of us third years leave last year, so it's been a complete rebuild. So to get to a final in his first year with new coach, new players, feels really good.
The team has been working hard this season to get these results. Finn spoke about the players who stood out to him and what it means to them to reach the final.
We've had a few, to be fair. There's been a few boys that have pulled together, a few that have all switched on. I think Harry Gray, he's our loose forward for the year, new fresher, he's come in, and he's just been class with ball in hand, in defensive. It's just worked really well.
Finn also spoke about Mark Buttrell, the first team coach for Leeds Beckett, and how important he's been for the team's success this season.
He's been class. Obviously, he's come on board from the Leeds Rhinos scholarship programme, taken over as new head coach, and the training's just been class. It's been, I'm going to say it's not only has his training been class, but his communication on and off the field's been mint. Obviously, he's brought on Bish as well as part of the coaching staff, so there's no reason that what they've done for us shouldn't see us off at line in the end.
Finn truly believes that his team can win the grand final in Loughborough.
I think I've no doubt that if we go out and play the strongest 80 minutes, all linked together, there's no reason why we can't come away with a gold medal in the end. It'll be a tough day, tough 80 minutes, but I've no doubt that the boys will get it in the end.
The final will be played tomorrow, where Beckett will need to travel down to Loughborough once again when they'll face Northumbria. Reporting for Sports Now, I'm Jack Snaith.
So that wraps up our show this morning. Many thanks to all our reporters for their packages. I'm Leo Taylor.
And I'm Harry Cook. Thank you for watching Sports Now.